Hi there, and welcome to Juniper Grace Tube number 11. Yay! Today, I'm your host, Juniper Grace. Thank you for coming back if you've already been here before, and thank you so much for joining me if you are brand new. Welcome here. And in spirit of the Robert Munsch mini giveaway, as well as the book I read last week, I've decided to bring back one more. It's called David's Father by Robert Munsch. And this really is classic Munsch because it's something that I remember from when I was little. It's to Julie. Yay. Julie was skipping home from school. She came to a large moving van. A man came out carrying a spoon, only it was as big as a shovel. Another man came out carrying a fork, only it was as big as a pitchfork. A third man came out carrying a knife, only it was as big as a flagpole. Yikes, said Julie. I don't want to get to know these people at all. She ran all the way home and hid under her bed till dinner time. I'm not sure if that's an effective way of dealing with your problems, but the next day, Julie was skipping home from school again. A boy was standing there, or where the moving van had been. He said, "Hi, my name's David. Would you like to come and play?" Julie looked at him very carefully. He seemed to be a regular sort of boy, so she stayed to play. Not sure if I've ever looked at anybody like that. At 5 o'clock, from far away down the street, someone called, "Julie, come and eat." "That's my mother," said Julie. Then someone called, "David." "That's my father," said David. Julie jumped up in the air, ran around in a circle 3 times, ran home and locked herself in her room till it was time for breakfast the next morning. Oh dear. The next day, Julie was skipping home and she saw David again. He said, "Hi, Julie. Do you want to come and play?" Julie looked at him very, very carefully. He seemed to be a regular boy, so she stayed and played. When it was almost 5 o'clock, David said, "Julie, please stay for dinner." But Julie remembered the big knife, the big fork, and the big spoon. "Well, I don't know," she said. "Maybe it's a bad idea. I think maybe no. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye." "Well," said David, "we're having cheeseburgers, chocolate milk shakes, and a salad." "Oh," said Julie. "I love cheeseburgers. I'll stay. I love cheeseburgers too." So they went into the kitchen. There was a small table with cheeseburgers, milkshakes, and salads. On the other side of the room, there was an enormous table. On it were a spoon as big as a shovel, a fork as big as a pitchfork, and a knife as big as a flagpole. "David," whispered Julie, "who sits there?" "Oh," said David, "that's where my father sits. You can hear him coming now." David's father sounded like this. Broom, broom, broom. Oh, I think my book's falling apart. Oh no. That's okay. Let's get to the right picture. There we go. Can tell it's a well-loved book. It goes to Brownie Camp. Okay. He opened the door. David's father was a giant. On his table there were 26 snails, 3 fried octopuses, and 16 bricks covered in chocolate sauce. I didn't realize that giants like to eat bricks. Curious. David and Julie ate their cheeseburgers, and the father ate the snails. David and Julie drank their milkshakes, and the father ate the fried octopuses. David and Julie ate their salads, and the father ate his chocolate-covered bricks. Ooh. Chocolate-covered bricks. Yee. Yum, yum, yum. David's father asked Julie if she would like a snail. Julie said no. David's father asked Julie if she would like an octopus. Julie said no. David's father asked Julie if she would like a delicious chocolate-covered brick. Julie said, no, but please, may I have another milkshake? So David's father made her another milkshake. I kind of want a milkshake now. And by kinda, I mean completely want a milkshake right now. Hands up if you want a milkshake. Me. When they were done, Julie said very softly so the father couldn't hear, David, you don't look very much like your father. Well, I'm adopted, said David. Oh, said Julie. Well, do you like your father? He's great, said David. Come for a walk and see. So they walked down the street. Julie and David skipped, and the father went boom, boom, boom. They came to a road, and they couldn't get across. The cars would not stop for David. The cars would not stop for Julie. The father walked into the middle of the road, looked at the cars, and yelled, stop! The cars all jumped up into the air, ran around in a circle 3 times, and went back to the street so fast they forgot their tires. Julie and David crossed the street and went into a store. The man who ran the store didn't like serving kids. They waited 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then David's father came in. He looked at the storekeeper and said, these kids are my friends. The man jumped up in the air, ran around the store 3 times, and gave David and Julie 3 boxes of ice cream, 11 bags of potato chips, and 19 lifesavers, all for free. Julie and David walked down the street and went around a bend. Wow. There were 6 big kids from grade 8 standing in the middle of the sidewalk. They looked at David, they looked at Julie, and they looked at the food. Then one big kid reached down and grabbed a box of ice cream. David's father came around the bend. He looked at the big kids and yelled, beat it! They jumped right out of their shirts, they jumped right out of their pants, and ran down the street in their underwear. Julie ran after them, but she slipped and scraped her elbow. Oh no. Serves them for being mean, hey? David's father picked her up and held her. Then he put a special giant bandage on her elbow. Julie said, well, David, you do have a very nice father after all, but he is still kind of scary. You think he's scary, said David. Wait till you meet my grandmother. Oh, the end. Isn't that a great story? Isn't that just fantastic? David's Father by Robert Munsch. You should go check out more Munsch. I love him. Well, welcome to Juniper GraceTube. Like I said, it's number 11. Yay! I always want to say, we made it! But, I mean, come on, guys. I'm not going anywhere, so I don't know why I'm, being so silly. I don't know. The weather is so nice out there today. Oh my gosh, I was sweating in my cardigan. I almost had to take it off. But every bit of my flesh is so pasty that I don't know if I could do it. Oh, and I forgot the rest of my introduction. So I am Juniper Grace, otherwise known as Grace. You can find me on Instagram as Juniper Grace. You can find me on Ravelry as Juniper Grace. You can find the group for this podcast on Ravelry as Juniper GraceTube. And you can find me on Twitter as GRaceFace. G-E-E Raceface. I was, 21 when I got in Twitter, so I don't know. And like I said before, I'm so glad you're here. Yay! Welcome to a new week. Last week was busy, crazy. I went away to brownie camp over the weekend, and it was 17 little girls, half of which ended up sleeping in tents for one night. We called it Brownie Boot Camp, where we're getting the girls ready for going to Girl Guides, because at Girl Guides, you don't get to camp like a princess like we do in Brownies, which is one of the reasons why I love being a Brownie leader, is the princess camping. Yay! Oh, I always forget to do this. Do you have your beverage of choice? Do you have your knitting? Go get your beverage of choice. Go get your knitting. One of these days I'll remember to say that within like the actual proper introduction. Anyways, so, I know. I just looked at my notes and remembered. So I read a Robert Munsch book, and last week I also read Robert Munsch. I read The Paper Bag Princess. And then I decided, because I had gone to the bookstore and I got myself, well, not myself, I got us 2 mini little Munsch books. One is, woo, my nose is itchy. Somebody's thinking about me. One is The Paper Bag Princess, and the other is Millicent and the Wind. And I decided to do a mini Munsch giveaway. Yay! And it wasn't quite as flash as I intended, because I didn't record as quickly as I thought I would. One of these days, guys, we're going weekly. I swear we are. We're going weekly, and we're going to go to iTunes. It's gonna happen. When? I don't know. Not 100% sure yet. But we'll get there, right? We'll get there. So, okay, winner number 1 is number 15, Summer Yarns. Her name is Summer, and I think she likes Harry Potter. I don't know. And her favorite Robert Munsch book is I Love You Forever. I'll always love you. I love you forever. It's a classic book, and I don't know why I'm forgetting the title now. And you, Summer, my dear, thank you so much for joining the giveaway, and thank you so much for participating. And you get to choose you get your first choice of the Munchie books. And then winner number 2, random number generator was funny today. It wasn't my husband, it was actualrandom.org. Number 12, Nutmeg Knits. Meg, who loves to knit socks. Haha, I snooped on your Ravelry profile just to see what I could say about you. You get whatever Summer doesn't want, but they're both really good, I promise. I fully approve both of these. You're gonna love them. So yeah, just send me a personal message. Maybe I'll send you a personal message, and let me know which one you'd like, and give me your address so that I can mail them to you, and then you'll get some. Yay! Hooray! Okay. Yay! Awesome. And I don't really have another giveaway right away. I haven't figured it out. Because I have some other things on the go. So we'll get to one of those. Maybe if you have an idea for something you'd like to see as a giveaway, or something you're interested in, let me know in the show chat thing. The chitter chatter for GraceTube. Juniper GraceTube, number 11. Still so excited. I also have a few more thank yous. I'm sure if you're following me on Instagram, you've seen a few of the things that have come for me in the mail. But I wanted to just make like a big fat fun show of them, because it just makes me feel good and loved, and I know that these people went out of their way to do something really nice for me, so I'm going to give them a happy hearty shout out. First I have this adorable tote bag, Just a Creative Type of Girl. And in it, okay, I'm not even kidding, the tote bag was an amazing enough gift. Then there were some note cards, which I've already started using, so I don't have those with me. Then there was some beautiful yarn. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's Knitting Notions in the Misty Mountain Hop colorway. And it's superwash merino. And it's fall, guys. It's like the perfect fall colors. And she sent me, she is Christina. Christina, who is also CC Knits on Instagram. And she has a podcast, Classic Cable Knits, I believe, or you can find her at a knitterslife.blogspot.com. So I'll link to her, because I haven't had a chance to check out her podcast. It's pretty new, but I'm excited. I'm going to go check it out. And look, she sent me a little lammy card. Oh, sheep. and she basically said, I just wanted to add to your sock adventure this year, and I am so excited to knit these. I think I might wait till September to knit them, because I feel like it'll be like, or like August for September, because that's when I'll be feeling all of these colors But I don't know, I'm kind of feeling them right this second. Might have to cake it up and knit them. But yeah, so thank you. Thank you so much. What a lovely little treat. She just sent it in the mail and with some encouragement and just said, here's to kind of brighten your life, and here's to the new adventure. And yeah, that's me. I'm just a creative type of girl. Yay! And then the other ridiculous piece of mail. Okay, like I'm talking ridiculous. It's from Fitznit721. Now, I think she goes by Julie or Julia. I met her at the Maine retreat. And we didn't have, like, it was really tough because there's like 50 people there and only a few days to kind of try to get to know each other. So I think I had a chance to sit with her, and I know for a little bit, just a tiny bit, and I know that we rode to the airport with April together, but we didn't really have a chance to get to know each other very well. But oh my gosh, she's on Instagram and I've been following her, and she's been going on crazy adventures and knitting the most fantastic things. And she asked me for my address, and I figured she had a postcard for the wall, and I was like, oh sweet, you know, like that's wicked. I would love a postcard from my friends from the Maine retreat, you know, like, so if any of you are from Maine and you haven't sent from the Maine retreat and you haven't sent me a postcard, send me a postcard. I would love that. But it was, oh my gosh, it was just freaking hilarious because, well, not hilarious. I got a package in the mail, and it was a beautiful, bright, like the parcel thing that she put it in was so bright, and I pick it up and I'm like, that is not a postcard. Like, that's gotta be, I'm pretty sure there might have been a postcard included. I've been really bad lately. I have to get my act together. We'll talk about that in a second. But I opened it up and I'm like, I'm feeling it, and I'm like, that is yarn, which is awesome. Like, holy crow, she gave me some yarn. How thoughtful. But then I like read the note, and then I opened this, and so it was a bag, which is a beautiful, beautiful project bag. And I might have to, yeah, I can't remember who the project bag was from. Apparently it was somebody that Susan B. Anderson recommends and enabled Julia to get. So that was number one. So it's like a knitting project bag of beautifulness. I seriously love this. Then, guys, Woolamize. I've never, look at this purple. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's pretty accurate actually. It's not quite as warm. It's a bit cooler toned, but it's gorgeous. I have been trolling Ravelry for like the perfect skein of Woolamize. I don't know how you say it, Woolamize. Because I want to join the club. Like, so many people have knit with this thing. It's just this monstrous skein of lace weight yarn. And I can't, it's German. It's like Handgefarbt. Maybe I'll ask Molly how to say that. But that's it's 300 grams. Like, oh my gosh. Thank you. And it's ridiculous. It's just such a generous gift. She's just like, yeah, I was looking for some wool mice and I wanted some, and I found this, and there just happened to be 2 skeins, so I bought both of them, and I thought I'd give you one because rather than be selfish and have it sit in my stash, I'll send it to you. And love it. Totally love it. And I like took a picture of it and I was like, oh my gosh, this came in the mail. Holy crap. And then she's like, are you happy with it? Like were you pleased? Because I guess I didn't say specifically. So I messaged her back. I'm like, yeah, it was hard to stop jumping up and down to actually take the picture and then text like, thank you. So thank you. And I'm very excited. I think I'm going to knit one of the classic, like the Novum, or the Viajante, I don't know how you say it, Viajante. Or I just saw, guys, this new pattern by Vera Valimaki just came out, and it's the Juniper, and it's like a little like a top, maybe. I want to knit that because it's called Juniper, but anyways, isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh. I have so much knitting ahead of me. This is ridiculous, but so thank you. Thought I'd share that. And then one other little, well, there's 2 other, oh my gosh, there's so many things to talk about. Sorry guys, so many things have happened. This is what happens if I don't record every week. I record every 2 weeks and I have a bazillion things to say. My friend Julie, Inky077, sent me elbow patches that she sewed. Little, like, look, that's gonna be so cute. And then, as like just a sweet, sweet gift of encouragement for my new adventure, sans the bank, or no bank anymore, my friendship socks buddy from February, Sarah, gifted me the Ramona cardigan pattern, and the Ramona cardigan is by Elizabeth Smith. I will link to it, but I was gifted the pattern. I've been admiring it for a while, and then I was out with my mom and we stopped at a yarn store and I found M&K Eco Wool. I think it's also German, but guys, look at that. That's so freaking gorgeous. That little like mottled kind of, oh. So I've been swatching for that cardigan, and it's not like, it's another work in progress, yep, but I just really want it, and I might sew the little guys onto the wouldn't that just be the cutest little elbow patches on the Ramona cardigan? So many things to make. Never enough time. So that's kind of an exciting thing. And in other news, what have I been up to? So those are all the things that kind of came in the mail that were noteworthy. I think I might have gotten another postcard, but I'm not 100% sure. I have to go find it, and I've got to write it down, which brings me to the next order of business. So I have been a member of the Letter Writers Alliance for a while. In fact, you will see that it has my maiden name on my membership card. So it's the Letter Writers Alliance, and it's kind of the easiest way to find it is at www.16, so 16 sparrows, so 16sparrows.com//LWA. So this is the, sorry, using my words, the most wonderful thing. It's like this club of people that love to write letters, that people that have pen pals, that, you know, but it's, you get an official membership card, and then they have stationery, and they set you up with a pen pal like this. This isn't my address anymore, so I can show it, but that's the envelope that my membership came in, and then they have a proper, like, membership, like, welcome to the club letter, and then they sell stationery and pencils and all kinds of really, really amazing things. They've kind of set up a whole community of people that love snail mail. And yes, I know it's a bit ironic that it's facilitated sort of online, but once you become a member, in order to actually activate your membership and get a pen pal, you have to physically send a letter in, and then they will mail you a letter back with address of a new pen pal. And isn't that just amazing? I don't know, I'm really excited. I'm just so excited. I'm just so very excited. Only because, sorry, the reason I'm excited is because I just bought my best friend her own membership. We're going to start writing letters again. I need to get another pen pal. I have an amazing pen pal from England. And Verinda, if you watch this, like, hello, hi, I love you. I owe you a letter. But today I kind of sat down and I went through and I packaged up all of the packages that I owe people. I wrote just a pile of letters. I even wrote a letter to my best friend who only lives like a 5-minute drive away, because I just realized that this is such a, like, I guess it's a dying art form. I don't know. I feel like it kind of is, because the post office keeps raising its prices because it can't, like, afford to keep doing business, and sigh. And so I just, you know what, even if it costs a little bit more money to send my friend a letter rather than an email, I want to send a letter. And so you should, like I said, go find this website, and it costs, if you live in the States, it costs $5 for a membership. I mean, it still costs $5 for me, just $5 US. You can buy a membership, and that's even if that's all you can spare right now is $5, join and become a member, and then let's be pen pals. Like, how much fun would that be? And then so, in order to get my act together, because I've been getting so much more mail than I normally would get, I went back today, or yesterday, because I promised my best friend I would get her a membership for her birthday last year. And it's been a while. That was last August. So I was like, okay, I promised her I would get her a membership, and I also know that they have like the correspondence tracker, like an old-timey booklet where you can keep track of everything you get and everything you send away. And there's like columns for, did you reply yet? Have you not replied? Does this need a response? Does this not need a response? I'd like to keep track of all my postcards. I've been trying to write them down in a notebook, but then the notebook isn't always handy. And yeah, so I got that, and I also ordered a proper address book that I just wanted, and I like supporting them because I think they're fantastic. Yeah, I guess I can't say enough about it. It's been such a fun experience, actually. I'm going to write them and ask for another pen pal, just because I'd like a new pen pal. It'd be kind of fun. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait a little bit. I've got a couple things I have to finish first. But it's exciting. That is also, the other good one is post crossing, where you can send postcards, but I'll save that for later. Okay, so back to kind of knitting related goodness. So I did mail today. I sent a ton of mail. Oh, and I got a lot of my Easter swap things from the Juniper Grace Easter Swapperoo. I know there's still a few people that are sending their stuff out. I think it was just a busy time of year. I kind of want to do another swap, but I kind of want to make it only like 5 people that you swap with instead of like 10 or 15. I think 15 was pushing the bill to this time. So let me know if you're interested. Maybe we need to pick a theme. Like, what if we did like a Harry Potter swap? But it's like, it's not a big deal. It's just like a small thing, you know what I mean? Like, you could knit something if you want, or you could just write a card. You could send stickers. That's what I like to do. I like to send stickers, and I think I sent like a little napkin, an Easter napkin this time. Like something really simple. It doesn't have to be big. But the idea is that we get a little love in each other's mailboxes, you know? And then, I guess other things that are coming up are Camp Aloha Friends with Mel from Single-Handed Knits, or M-Ski Knits on Ravelry. I am teaching a couple things for Camp Aloha Friends. It starts in June, so that's coming up really soon, but there's still spots available for day campers or bunk campers. And the fun part is, it's kind of like if you've always wanted to be a part of camp, a summer camp, but you're like me who lives, you know, in Canada and I can't get out for a fiber retreat or fiber activity. This is an online camp where it kind of comes to you. And if you're a bunkhouse camper, you actually get a little suitcase mailed to you full of supplies for camp, which will be so much fun. Yeah, so you got to check that out, and I'll link for that so you can go to Mel's blog and follow a couple of the different people that are instructors, like my friend Melody, who's bee mandarins or mandarins. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to learn so many fun things. I'm going to be teaching crochet, granny squares, and I'm also going to be teaching embroidery, which will be so much fun. And then with that, right now running at Juniper Grace, or Juniper Grace Tube, we have the Hana Ho Knit Along, which is one of Mel's sweaters, actually her newest, or one of her newest sweaters. It's this beautiful kind of wrap cardigan that every time I demonstrate it looks a little silly, but it kind of goes across this way, but with like the panel actually draping down, and then the other panel goes across and buttons there, and it actually hangs kind of straight down. But it's this loose, beautiful sport weight cardigan that I got to sample knit, and I will be shortly knitting it myself. I'm just waiting on my yarn, but I'm so excited. I get to knit with Space Cadet Creations yarn. I'm going to be knitting in with I think it's the Lyra is the sport weight, and it's the How Dare You colorway. So it's this beautiful kind of really vibrant red that I'm very, very excited to knit with, and I'm excited to have you know, a knit cardigan that's this beautiful red color and get to use Space Cadet Creation yarn. I think I need to like mail Stephanie and just beg her for like a ton of her tattoos. I just want all of the temporary tattoos. Today, I had the funniest urge from like literally from waking up. I just wanted to put a fake tattoo on myself somewhere, like on my arm, because I really do want a real tattoo, but I just, I'm a wimp. And so I just wanted to put like, it's really fun to have a fake tattoo because then eventually you can take it off, but people don't know that it's fake, especially when you're kind of grown up like me. And so you can walk around with this fake tattoo and I'm like, yeah, I am so cool. I have a real tattoo. Except I totally don't. Except I really want one. Except I'm totally scared of, I'm supposed to say totally scared. I'm totally scared of the needles. Oh, it's on my list. Like every year at my birthday time, I always make a list of things to do before my next birthday. So right now I'm currently on 29 things to do before I turn 30. Almost 30. Almost 30. That's weird. I don't feel old enough to be almost 30. I feel like I should still be 16. No, maybe 21. 21 was a good year. I don't know. So, but with the Hanaho Cow, okay, sorry, getting completely derailed. Let's right the train and continue on. Okay, so with the Hanaho Cow, we have some really, really fun prizes. And I've been looking through our thread, and it doesn't look like enough people have joined this Cal yet. We need more people. So my thoughts are, if you haven't started, you can still join. It's for all of May and all of June, and we'll see how people's progress is. If we have to extend it, we can extend it. But through all of May and through all of June, if you've already started, jump right on in. If you haven't started yet, jump right on in. If you're still waiting for your yarn like I am, jump right on in. It's going to be fun. I've seen some really beautiful blue yarn and some Julie's yarn choices look really exciting. Inky 077. I am so excited to see what you guys are doing. And with that, we've got a few prizes. So let me segue to the part of the program where I did get some mail today that applies to you. Okay, so you guys have heard me talk about Rista 1313. Susan, she is one of my, oh, hello fridge. She is one of my favorite people. I don't know, I just love her. She always bugs me on WhatsApp. She's like, so remember that one time you told us that you were going to have weekly podcasts, Grace? Or where's your podcast? Have you recorded lately? So thanks to her, you guys get some pretty regular regular. Thanks to her, I keep podcasting, not completely, but she helps, if you know what I mean. But she also makes the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful project bags. I think I already own one sock bag and a little notions pouch. And then she came out with, I mean, I follow her on Instagram. So she Instagrammed that she was doing an embroidery hoop bag for an 8-inch embroidery hoop. So it doesn't have the same kind of like gussety thing, or not, I don't know what it is, wedge, gusset, bottom foot part. It's just like a nice, perfect flat bag to carry your cross-stitching and embroidery hoops in. And I'm so excited because this will totally fit what I'm using for my my Once Upon a Time sampler, cross-stitch sampler, which I have totally neglected over the past little while. And even then, I can just, whenever I'm working on a cross-stitching project, this is like the perfect size. And look, she made it out of the Nomi fabric. Gnomes! And she has, here, I'll close up on her button. She has these freaking adorable buttons that say girlcavebags.etsy.com. Actually, let's see. I don't know if that was very good. I'm too wobbly. But yeah, so, and every time you get one of her bags, you get this wonderful little sample of, get your Lolo on. What is it? It's Lolo Love. And it's like a Lolo bar. It's kind of like a balm for your skin, kind of like for dry skin. You can use it on your elbows. You can use it on, I mean, I get dry cuticles and things. So I really love these things. I've been rubbing them kind of on my cuticle areas. But then, okay, so this is the awesome bag that I now own, where it's the gnomes and then it's mushrooms on the inside, which is just ridiculously adorable with a little handle. And she cobbled it together because I was like, I want one that has gnomes on it. And she's like, oh, I think I've used all my gnome fabric. And I was like, And so she kind of cobbled it together for me. But then I asked her very nicely, and she did not take much convincing, but she offered a prize to go for the Hanaho knit-along. And look, it's little surfing owls. Look. Isn't that just adorable? And then, see, this is what I was talking about, like the little foot gusset thing. And she's got her little button right there. I love it. I love the way she finishes things. This one has really wicked green zigzags in the center. And then a Lolo bar. I think I'm going to smell the 2 different Lolo bars that came, and I'll pick the one I like the best, and then I'll save one for you. I'm a bad person. I did not just say that on my podcast, sorry. But look, isn't that adorable? How perfect is that? Because Mel is from, well, she lived in Hawaii for a really long time, and Hanaho means again, kind of like again, like let's do it again. And that's where like a lot of the name and the inspiration for a lot of the things she designs comes from Hawaii. And bam, Hawaiian owls. Like, and this gets to be yours. I'm really jealous because I kind of want to just like keep it. But it's not mine. So I promise that I will lovingly send this out to whoever wins. But you have to participate in order to get this. There's also going to be some mini skeins from Space Cadet Creations. And a project bag by Mel's mom. And I think some patterns from Mel. So it's really, really fun. And I think I'm going to actually hunt around and see if I can get anyone to donate some yarn or donate, you know, something else that's really like another thing to give away. Because why not? It's really fun. Yeah, I should totally try to figure out which yarn. Well, no, we've got Space Cadet Creations yarn. What else? What about notions? Notions would be really fun. I think I know some people that make knitting notions. That would be good. Yes. Okay. Great. Stay tuned. I will fill you in. So, that is exciting stuff that's happening in Juniper Graceland. Sorry, you're going to hear my cat eating her food right now because she's decided she's hungry. So if you hear some crunching, I apologize. That's little Ava Kitty. I'm not mad at her today because she saved me from this gigantic weird fly bug thing that I've never seen in my entire life that came in. It was like a mayfly, but weirder. And she rescued me from it. She like went up and just nommed it. And I'm like, yes, protector kitty. So she can do whatever she wants. Okay, so I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Okay, so let's look on the pile. Ooh, okay, so I've been hanging out with my mom. I have like couple other exciting things to tell you. So I was hanging out with my mom, and my mom tells me just out of the blue, she's like, oh, I went thrift shopping the other day. Now, this is one thing that I love to do with my mom is go thrift shopping. And where she lives, near Sydney on Vancouver Island is like the thrift shop mecca kind of. Like there's only about 5 or 6 of them, which is quite a few, but they are just awesome. Like the stuff that I found at those thrift stores is better than like any other thrift shopping I've ever done. Like it's so consistently amazing. So mom went because one of her girlfriends was visiting from out of town, and she found the most perfect books. Crafting with cat hair. And I actually, you know what? I know this may sound really weird, but I think that little finger puppet is kind of adorable. And so it's got all these different little, basically felted cat hair projects. And at the end of the book, it actually introduces you to the different cats that donated their fur for the different projects. Like, seriously. Isn't that just adorable? I mean, it's a bit ridiculous, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, my parents, they have a long-haired cat who sheds quite a bit, and I did joke at one point in time that I would be able to spin the cat hair because it's a bit like Angora, to be honest, and it's actually quite clean. I mean, cats are kind of obsessive about keeping themselves clean. So, I don't know. Weirdly enough, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I kind of want to make that little finger puppet because it's cute. A little bell on it. Then the other one that my mom got, and I know these are very tongue-in-cheek, but Why Cats Paint. And so it seriously has like actual examples of different cats and their paintings. Like And I am amazed that these cats actually, like, do this. But look, cats dip their paws in the paint and then paint. And people hang up, like, paper for them to paint on the canvases. And then they have the different types. Like, they've got Rusty, who's a psychometric impressionist. Seriously. That's just genius. So, Why Cats Paint, A Theory of Feline Aesthetics by Heather Bush, Burton Silver. And then The Crafting with Cat Hair is by Kaori Tsutaya, translated from the Japanese by Amy Hirschman. Oh, those are so great. Aren't those amazing? I was like, Mom, can I borrow those? Because I'm going to put them on my podcast. And, okay, here's the other thing. I'm going to be bringing back the blog, and I'm going to be trying to blog, like, almost every day of the week. So I might do a little feature on these books and let you guys have a little bit more of a peek inside to some of the really awesome projects. I just thought that was amazing. So let's get back to the knitting, because we kind of really haven't touched much on the knitting. So let me show you. I really haven't got a lot done because I had brownie camp and I've been getting ready for Camp Aloha Friends, and I still can't. I don't think I can really show you what I've done for Camp Aloha Friends because, well, you need to be a part of Camp Aloha Friends to see what I've done. This sarcastic moment brought to you by not enough coffee today. Actually, I had a ton of coffee today. I went to a new coffee shop. But anyways, I finished my Hedwig socks. Yay! Look at them. They're beautiful. Like, I'm not even kidding. I took them to camp because I wasn't leading like I normally do at Brownie Camp. I was, this camp was called Brownie Boot Camp, and it was the chance for the junior leaders to take charge and run some things. And so, that meant that I really was only needed kind of like kitchen support / backup or whatever. So I was in the kitchen and I was like, okay, this is weird. I've never really been on this side of camp. I'm always running the program and leading the girls. So I made sure to bring my knitting, and I have been trying. I've been chugging along on these socks because I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty pitiful. So I finally finished these two. I finished the toe of the second one. I think I had about like that much left to knit of it, and I finished it and literally tied in my ends, put them on my feet, and wore them for the rest of the day. And turns out, okay, so it's May, and it's lovely and warm and beautiful in Vancouver Island, but it's still quite cold. And where we were camping was actually on the ocean side of the island, so on the west side of the island rather than the inside of the island, which is kind of closer to where I am. So when you're on the west side of the island, it's actually quite colder because it's straight off the ocean stuff, off the wide open ocean. So I brought my woolly socks. I didn't think I would need them, but oh my goodness, I wore all 3 pairs of my woolly socks, and everyone's like, whoa, those are amazing. How did you knit those? And how did you change the colors? And I'm like, that's what the yarn does. But I'm like, yeah, I'm totally awesome. Like, or one of my brownies actually came up to me. She's like, that looks easy. And I was like, well, actually it's not, you know? And she's like, no, really, that looks really easy. And I was like, you're 7 years old. You don't know how to knit. And I guess ever since I saw Stephanie Pearl McPhee speak, and she was talking about how, like, don't underestimate yourself as a knitter. Like if someone compliments you or they see what you're doing, like, don't just go, oh, it was really easy or it's not very hard. Actually, it takes a lot of skill. Like, I've been knitting for 20 years and only this year have I conquered socks. Okay? Socks have scared the poopy out of me. Like, I haven't been able to do them. And so, this is like the culmination of my knitting journey so far, which is a pretty long journey and a pretty awesome journey, and thank you very much. Socks are not easy. So, well, I mean, once you get the hang of them and you've been knitting them for a while, maybe, but they still take work, and turning a heel is like pretty darn BA part of my language, but you know what I mean? So So yeah, so I wore them and they were perfect, and I want to knit like 3,000 more. It just fuels the flame of the socks. I used Susan B. Anderson's How I Make My Socks pattern. The only modifications are I cast on more stitches up top because I have curvy lady legs, and then I decreased, and this time I actually decreased down to 64 stitches. Normally I do 68 on 2.5 millimeter needles for like the bulk of the sock, but I was feeling like it was a bit loose, or you know, so I went from, I did 72 up here down to 68 down to 64, and for the rest was 64, and that's pretty much it. Nothing too fancy. I used opal sock yarn, and it was the Hedwig colorway from the Harry Potter series that someone sent me. Oh, I love it. And then somebody has sent me, since then, Marliese has sent me more Harry Potter yarn. So I'm going to have to make more Harry Potter things. I don't know what I should do with my second skein of Hedwig. Maybe I should make a shawl, because it's enough for like a little shawlette. What I love about these socks and what I love about this yarn is that it's very Cowichan sweater-like. Now, I actually used to live in the Cowichan Valley. The Cowichan sweater, or some people call it the Indian sweater, was actually originated here on Vancouver Island. This is where it came from. You know, the ones that are very popular now came from where I live. Like, talk about a rich heritage and history. So I have been talking to my friend Julie, which you've heard me speak lots of because I totally love my friends and I love them. And she has been wanting to knit a Cowichan sweater. And 3 years ago on my birthday, my mom and I went into the Indian sweater store. That's what it's called. I think it's called the Sasquatch Trading Company, and it's got a big sign that says like Indian sweaters and Cowichan this, and I don't know. They sell moccasins, they sell all kinds of things. But they also sell, well, they sell the yarn to knit a Cowichan sweater, but they also sell to the actual people that knit the sweaters, they sell all the wool to spin and then knit the sweater. So 3 years ago, my mom bought me this gigantic bag of wool to spin and knit myself a sweater. Have I done it yet? No. I got married. What else? So many things have happened in 3 years. I've moved like 3 times. And I just figured, okay, this year has to be the year. I have to get this done. So I got a ball. I went on a little date with Julie. I took her along with me on WhatsApp. I took pictures and kind of messaged her because she was talking about wanting to knit one of the sweaters. So we've decided, I'm sorry Julie if you're not happy with this, but I'm just going out there because if I say it then it'll happen. We've decided we want to knit ourselves the Cowichan sweater for, like, with our goal of being able to wear it to the main retreat in September. That means I gotta get grooving. Although to be honest, to be fair, it is rather chunky wool, and so should be a fairly quick knit. But we also needed to get some charts. Now I already have some charts, like, you know how the Cowichan sweater typically has like an animal or something, like a picture on the front. So my first chart that I bought were bison, because I'm from Alberta and I thought, you know, bison, that's just very fitting. But I've moved out to the ocean, so I thought I might get some charts of whales and see if I can work it into like the story of the sweater, having like whales and bison. I don't know, it might seem really silly. I might just stick to bison. But, so this is the wool. I'm a little anxious about spinning this because it's single ply and fairly thick, like thicker than I would normally ever spin. And I'm a little bit anxious about getting it consistent. So we'll see how that works. But I've also seen where a lot of the wool they use to knit these things actually isn't spun. It's more like just a finger, like a sliver of silver of yarn. I don't know. So we'll see. And some people, like, there's stories about how some of the artists that create the sweaters just spin it, kind of twist the yarn as they go. So I went to the library. Well, I'll show you the charts that I have since got. I got a chart for Miss Julie as well, but I picked up this chart with the whales, which I thought was really cute. And then this chart actually is supposed to be eagles. See the eagles? But I want to turn it upside down and do like teepees. Isn't that kind of cute? Like maybe along the armband. Kind of excited. I have to get it right. I want to find the right pattern just to make sure I have one that fits me. But then I also went to the library, and this book is called Working with Wool by Sylvia Olson. It's a Coast Salish legacy and the Cowichan sweater. So this came out a little while ago, and it's all about the Cowichan sweater and kind of its origins and roots here on Vancouver Island. I think it has a picture of a Cowichan sweater that was made for Mickey Rooney. But I guess that was a major kind of resource and source of trade on the island for a while. It kind of kept the Coast Salish people in business, you know, like there's a lady with a sweater she made. It's so beautiful. I really love it. And you know what? It's the perfect sweater. Like you don't really need a jacket. Like in this climate, you can get away with just that woolly sweater with the designs on it. And now it's actually very hip and kind of cool. So I'm trying to find a really good picture of the Coast Salish, the sweaters. Oh, we've got a women's curling team with the sweaters. This is probably the third time I've borrowed this book from the library, so I might want to just buy it and have it in my collection. Or maybe, birthday, Christmas present? Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Hey Mom, birthday, Christmas present. Can go with my yarn, but look, there's a collection of, that's kind of a picture of the shop, one of the shops that would have sold the sweaters. Cowichan Trading Company store in Duncan. And Duncan, I actually lived near Duncan and worked there. Wow, that's so incredible. Yeah. It's amazing. So I want to knit myself one. And I think it'll be a really fun adventure, but I think it's something that I would absolutely have to blog about, like, the entire way. I think there's something about just very earthy, like, this is the yarn I've got for the Ramona cardigan, and my Hedwig socks. I'm very much kind of on a really earth tony kick, even though it's spring, and for some reason part of me really, really just feels like knitting with green, because it's spring. But at the same time, I'm just kind of digging all the earth tones. I don't know. You go through moods, right? So that's going to be a work in progress. Probably after the Honoho. I just need to get my yarn. But I could get that started, although I've kind of got the... Oh gosh. No, you know what I need to do? Okay, this is actually the next thing I wanted to talk about. This is probably one of the last things I wanted to talk about. But what I need to do... I need to do some spring cleaning with my works in progress. This is very classic of Juniper Grace. When you go through a tough time in life and you feel stressed out, you cast on a million projects. I just want to start things because there's something exciting and fresh and kind of rejuvenating about starting a new knitting project. So kind of near the end of the time with the bank for about a month or two, I just was casting on project after project. I can't find any of my needle tips, that's why, because they're all with different projects. And it just means that I was just feeling stressed out. But now I need to deal with those cast on projects so that I can move forward and have kind of a clean slate. So some works in progress that I want to get done soon. I've got the Hogwarts Express shawl that I don't have anything to show you because I haven't worked on it. But that's for Mary's mini shawlette knit along. So I need to get that done and put pictures up. Julie's is fantastic. Then I also have my Ramona cardigan that I'd like to do. I'm going to grab one of the pairs of socks that I've already cast on to do as my May socks, just to carry forward. But I have Linden Mitts by Jane Richmond cast on in the rainbow Felici, but the fingering Felici. Then I also have my Magic Cake Ruffle shawl, which leads me into, as time goes by, getting closer and closer to the main retreat, I've realized I have all this yarn that I got at the main retreat. I've barely touched any of it, and if I want to go and I want to be allowed to buy anything when I'm at the main retreat, like this year, I need to get my act together and I need to knit the stuff that I've already bought, you know? So that's going to be a goal. So I have an awful lot of goals. I have awful lot of things on the go, but I'm just so excited, which I guess could lead to the little mini main moment. Blah, 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 blah. I'm tripping over my words. My mini main moment from, for what I can think of and which seems very applicable, is from my birthday, or the day before my birthday. We went out and we were doing a big yarn crawl, and we went to a bunch of different little shops. One of the places being the Saco River Dye Works, and that's where we actually got to see some yarn being dyed. I'm not sure if it was actually Quince & Company. It was a beautiful, almost like a robin's egg blue. But we saw some yarn drying, we saw yarn hanging, we saw the machines that skein, like that wind the skeins. It was incredible. I took a bunch of videos and a billion pictures because I was so excited. But at Saco River Dye Works, Mel, Emsky Knits, actually bought me the Harry Potter Knits book, which we couldn't get in Canada, and I was so thrilled to get that. But then it turns out that my darling friend Angie Silverbell also bought me the Harry Potter Knits book. She bought it at the Knitwit yarn store. So I felt so bad. She was like, Grace, come over here, I've got something for you. And she gave me the magazine, and I was just like, oh no, I already have it. And so she lovingly gave it to Mel, so Mel got one herself. And but I bought the yarn to make Ginny's gauntlets, these beautiful kind of fingerless mitten things that are just gorgeous. And so I'm really excited to try to knit those. I bought some really beautiful, I think it's called Road to China Light, and that's what I'm going to knit. But it just speaks to the absolute generosity of knitters. I came home with so much more than I probably would have come home with, thanks to the fact that everyone thought that I deserved something special on my birthday. And so this year, even though it's not actually on my birthday, I might just make it my birthday celebration anyways, because it's just fun, you know? Like, what better birthday party than with a bunch of other knitters, or Mary, who's pushing gin and tonics on you that are like gin and some tonic. Or, I don't know, Barb, who's my birthday buddy, and she gave me handmade beeswax candles. Just, I love it. Absolutely love it. So, I guess that brings us to the end. That's for this week. And I promise I'll be back next week. Stop by Juniper GraceTube group on Ravelry. Tell me what you think. How are you doing? If you want to send a postcard for the wall, send me a message and I'll send you my address. If you want to send little bits of yarn for my hexie puffs, I have to measure because I'm not knitting to gauge. But if you want to, just let me know and I will happily accept little bits of yarn for my hexie puff blanket that I have dove into. That's another one. That's another work in progress. Oh dear. But I guess it's safe to return to your knitting life as normal. I'm sure you got an awful lot done, and I'm sure that your warm or cool beverage has been completely consumed. But I am so glad you came to join me here today, and I look forward to seeing and hearing from you soon. And I promise I'll be back next week with lots of exciting things to share. Take care.